My name is Hannah. I'm a trainee at the Commission, and I'm going to talk to you today about the volunteering industry and whether we are doing more harm than good by volunteering in developing countries. And I'm going to start my speech now. Taking a year out to do some volunteering has in the last 10 to 15 years become very, very popular, particularly in the Western world. Whether it is volunteering as a teacher in Kenya or working in an orphanage in Brazil or working with elephants in Thailand. The concept of volunteering has existed for centuries, but I'm going to start off by telling you about how the modern day the concept came about and the idea of organisations sending out volunteers. So it started shortly after the First World War with the intention of building ties and understanding between different nationalities. The first camp was organised in 1920 and brought together volunteers from former enemy countries to rebuild a ruined French village. This project was based on unity, bringing people together from different countries and making a difference to a local community. And this concept still exists today and is the foundation for organisations. But the idea has now developed, spread worldwide, and along the way, I believe that it has become a huge tourism industry. From my experience and my research, I have found it difficult to find volunteer programs that are non-profit, transparent, you can see where the money goes, and that has these values. It is not uncommon to pay hundreds or sometimes thousands of euros for a few weeks for a project that lasts a few weeks. To meet this new demand of volunteers, websites and organisations offering volunteering experiences have appeared on the market. Therefore they are changing due to the volume of organisations. They are changing the face of volunteering. It's becoming, in some cases, it is becoming more of a business, an intention to make huge profits, for example. And this leads us to the question, how much money goes to profit and how much money, and also sustainable, thought out, structured projects goes to the local communities. In recent years, we have started to see the effect that the volunteering industry has had on local communities, where in some cases it is doing more harm than good. And we have, however, started also to look at more effective and sustainable ways of conducting these projects. For example, untrained and unqualified young people working as teachers may not be suitable due to their inexperience. There are now more projects to train local teachers or to work alongside local teachers rather than instead of them. And I would also like to tell you a short anecdote which also backs up this concept. I know of a volunteer who went to Tanzania to help build a school, and the volunteers would complain about the locals that they were lazy, that they slept in the mornings. But however, towards the end of the project, they found out that the local people would go back to the school that they were building and rebuild what the volunteers had done during the day because the volunteers did not do it properly. So this shows that they do not need volunteers for this project, that they need funding, or again, for the volunteers to work alongside the locals rather than instead of them. So all in all, this is not to say that I think volunteering is a bad idea. I think it is essential to bring people together from different backgrounds. However, I think that people need to be very careful when selecting an organisation, that the organisation and the volunteer make sure that the volunteer is matched to a project according to the person's skills, and that the volunteer can see where the money goes. And finally, that the volunteer makes sure that that the project will benefit the community as much as it benefits themselves. Thank you.